Shadow Wizard, Renegades of Magic, Book 1. Written by Jeffe Kennedy. Read for you by Deborah Balm. 1. Jadren squinted at the onrushing horde of monsters, swinging his enchanted machete to limber up his muscles, and sighed to himself. He didn't know what had possessed him to volunteer to heroically sacrifice himself to play rear guard, especially since he was no hero. Clearly, being among the idealistic fools of House Phel had affected his sense and good judgment. Well, that and a heavy dose of guilt on top of his inherent self-loathing. The people he'd offered to protect didn't trust him, which would be more upsetting if he could feel indignant about it. If he died, that would at least liberate him from the cage his darling maman had kept him in all his miserable life. Just because he was temporarily out of that cage didn't mean he'd fully escaped it. "So," his lone companion drawled, "is your grand plan to stand here like an idiot and wait to be overrun?" He glanced over at Selly, suppressing a rush of unwilling attraction. There was no way he should find the chit so compelling. Far too thin still from the magic stagnation that had very nearly killed her. Selly's face was mostly huge amber eyes and jutting cheekbones. It didn't help that she'd braided that tumbling mass of tangled black hair, the severe style making her look even younger, her piquant, heart-shaped face wistful, even sad in moments of repose, when she thought no one was watching. Her waifish mien made him want to cuddle and comfort her, not an urge he'd ever felt before in his emotionally stunted life. Fortunately, that absurd impulse lasted only until she unleashed that sharp tongue of hers. "No one asked you to stay," he observed. "Just the opposite, in fact. There's still time for you to flee, which would be the wise decision. Hop on your horsey and run along home." "And strand you without magic reserves?" She huffed out a disgusted laugh. "You'd run out of your own magic in no time, leaving you without any way to defend yourself, as we both know you're no fighter." "You have no idea." Jadren set his teeth, turning away from her disdain to observe the river of hunters streaming from House Samael and plunging through the valley straight for them. They moved like oily smoke, running on 4 legs, their long claws churning up a cloud of dust as they charged at full speed in their oddly loping stride, like a jackal's. House Phel's small band of intrepid rescuers, like something out of the popular novels, had managed to rescue Lady Phel, but they wouldn't make it far if the hunters overtook them. Thus the rear-guard offer. It was true, though, that he'd never trained in hand-to-hand fighting. As a scion of House...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?